Hello, my beautiful people. This is Antonella Bargione, the art healer, and I'm here today to share with you that this morning, out of the blue, from the bookshelf, a book stood up and wanted to be taken, picked. And this book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm sure many of you have already read it. And this is a book that is dear to my heart because first time I read it, it was 1996, probably beginning of 1996, and I remember it like if it was yesterday because I was traveling from Palermo in Italy, from Palermo to Florence. I was doing my training and I was on a sleeping wagon of a train, of the night train to go to Florence. And I had this book that somebody just had, I mean, told me that it was absolutely fantastic. They were raving about it. So I bought it. At the time, I didn't have much money. So it was almost an effort to buy it. And I went on the train. I remember I was just cherishing. Do you know when you smell the paper and all that with books? And when everybody went to sleep, I remember going on my top, I don't know what you say in English, compartment, whatever, bed, and uh, and I put my light on and I started to read it. And I said, no, no, let me start a bit. I want to read it. And then I remember that I couldn't stop until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to just drink it. And this is one of these books where you have the protagonist who is following his dream and is following it everywhere in the world until he finds out that it actually is it's always been there. But sometimes we have to do this path before we find it. So I want to share the author's note with you. I don't want to share about the stories because if you haven't read it, please do. So The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And I want to share the author's note. So you just get to know a bit more of what happens to us in our path, how we get lost, and all the challenges we have to find in order to pursue our dreams. That is not easy. It doesn't come easy. So the book has been translated into 61 languages, has sold more than 30 million copies worldwide, and people started to ask him, so what's the secret behind such a success, such a huge success? And Coelho answers that the only honest response is that I don't know. And I don't know. All I know is that, like Santiago, the shepherd boy, the protagonist of the book, we all need to be aware of our personal calling. What is a personal calling? It's God's blessing. It is the path that God chose for you here on earth. Whenever we do something that fills us with enthusiasm, we are following our legend. However, we don't all have the courage to confront our own dream. Why? There are 4 obstacles. First, we are told from childhood onwards that everything we want to do is impossible. We grow up with this idea, and the years accumulate. So to do the layers of prejudice, fear, and guilt. So to do the layers of prejudice, fear, and guilt. There comes a time where our personal calling is so deeply buried in our soul and to be invisible, but it's still there. If we have the courage to disinter our dream, we are then faced by the second obstacle, love. We know what we want to do, but we are afraid of hurting those around us by abandoning everything in order to pursue our dream. We do not realize that love is just a further impetus, not something that will prevent us going forward. And that those who genuinely wish us well want us to be happy, and we are prepared to accompany us on that journey. Once we have accepted that love is a stimulus, we come up against the third obstacle. Fear of the defeat we will meet on the path. Fear of the defeats we will meet on the path. We who fight for our dream suffer far more when it doesn't work out because we cannot fall back on the old excuse, oh, well, I didn't really want it anyway. We do want it and know that we have staked everything on it, and that the path of the personal calling is not easier than any other path, except that our whole heart is in this journey. Then we warriors of light must be prepared to have patience in difficult times and to know that the universe is conspiring in our favor, even though we may not understand how. Ask myself, are defeats necessary? Well, necessary or not, they happen. When we first begin fighting for our dream, we have no experience and make many mistakes. The secret of life, though, is to fall 7 times and to get up 8 times. So, why is it so important to live our personal calling if we are only going to suffer more than other people? Because once we have overcome the defeats, and we always do, we are filled with a greater sense of euphoria and confidence. In the silence of your hearts, we know that we are proving ourselves worthy of the miracle of life. Each day, each hour is part of the good fight. We start to live with enthusiasm and pleasure. Intense, unexpected suffering passes more quickly than suffering that is apparently bearable. The latter goes on for years and without our noticing, eats our way out our soul, until one day we are no longer able to free ourselves from the bitterness, and it stays with us for the rest of our lives. Having disinterred our dream, having used the power of love to nurture it, and spent many years living with the scars, we suddenly notice that what we always want is here, waiting for us, perhaps the very next day. Then comes the fourth obstacle, the fear of realizing the dream for which we've been fighting all our lives. Oscar Wilde said, each man kills the thing he loves. And it's true. The mere possibility of getting what we want fills the soul of the ordinary person with guilt. We look around at all those who have failed to get what they want and feel that we do not deserve to get what we wanted either. We forget about all the obstacles we overcame and all the suffering we endured and all the things we had to give up in order to get this far. I've known a lot of people who, when their personal calling was within their grasp, went on to commit a series of stupid mistakes and never reached their goal when it was only a step away. This is the most dangerous of the obstacles because it has a kind of a saintly aura about it, renouncing joy and conquest. But if you believe yourself worthy of the thing you fought so hard to get, then you become an instrument of God. You help the soul of the world, and you understand why you are here. Paulo Coelho. I just love that because it's so true. It has been true for me so many times, and how many times it's been happening to you as well. It's just the way it is. So we've been asked to be so resilient in wanting to pursue our dream, to overcome all this fear of disappointing others or abandoning others. What if I become, if I realize my dream, it means that maybe my family, my friends, my past get get just lost behind. How much fear is that? This fear of not belonging anymore, to choose aloneness against the dream. It's big. It's really big. And it doesn't come easy. We have to really fight for it. I remember so many times I tried, I was so enthusiastic. I put all myself into it. And when I was close to the realization, I did those stupid mistakes. What about you? Are you willing to change the way you look at your dreams, or do you want to keep doing the same mistakes like I did? Resilience, remember, we can fall down 7 times, and at the same time we can get up 8 times, 9 times, 15 times. How much do we believe in what we want to do? I believe now in what I want to do. That's why I'm here. And so this is Antonella Bargione. I'm the heart healer. And please leave your comment below to share your own experience. We can start a conversation. This is not a monologue. I really trust it can become a conversation. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.